Good morning, and welcome to Monday Ignition. I get excited every single week to have this opportunity to spend time with you to kick off your week. And I'm always thinking, what's a relevant message? What's a message that will hit you in your heart, that'll inspire you to choose to stay connected to your burn even more, to not give up on the goals that you set out for yourself at the beginning of the year. And one of the things you've probably realized over time is I like to share stories that are recent, relevant, and powerful. And so I have been doing a lot of thinking and seeing a lot of resilience in the Indiana Fever basketball team. And I think there are a lot of parallels to you and probably your year and how you've been showing up in the decisions you've been making or maybe not making. So today I want to talk to you about resilience in this Indiana Fever basketball team. I never would have imagined, nor do I think Coach White would have imagined in this 10th year of working together, when we were at her house for a retreat, talking about this team and talking about this season. And we developed this mindset of we greater than me. And she actually mentioned we have to be prepared when challenge and adversity hits us. And we all hope that we wouldn't face a lot. However, we have been hit with it at the highest of possible levels. And so before I tell you about the Fever, let's talk about you. I want you to think about the beginning of your year. I want you to think about your goals and all the things that you believed and you set out to do. And, there was maybe a word that would connect you to it, your burns connected to it, your prize finder days connected to it. And then all of a sudden, maybe it's felt for you like it has felt for the Fever, that every time you move forward, there's somebody swinging at you, connecting in your jaw and causing you to take a couple steps back. Then you move forward and they catch you with a jab, and that jab causes you to retreat and move back. And every time you get hit, you have to ask yourself the question, am I willing to move forward? And then once you say, yes, I'm willing to move forward, say, how am I going to move forward? How have you been doing with that? Have you continued to get hit with a punch and you retreat, punch and you retreat, punch and you retreat, punch and you retreat? Success is never easy. Success takes investing in yourself with time, with energy, with money. It takes believing in yourself, getting up off that mat of life one more time than you've been knocked down over and over and over and over and over again. And it especially takes resilience. Resilience when you have to question, can I give more? Resilience when you have to question, is the world really against me? Because it sure feels like it. And resilience when you know that the best chapters of your story have yet to be written, no matter what happens. Standard over feelings is incredibly important when it comes to resilience. Standard over feelings stays on the whiteboard in the locker room for the Fever, as well as in the room where they break down film. Where does standard over feelings remain in your life? How many times over the years have you heard me say standard over feelings? Don't allow your feelings to dictate how you show up. You have to continue to live to the standard. That takes resilience, especially when you don't want to do it. You feel like the world's telling you it's not your time. So wherever you are right now, I encourage you, lean in and show some more resilience. Recommit to standard over feelings. Invest in yourself more with your belief, your time, your energy, and probably your resources. I've spent millions of dollars in developing our business, coaching for myself, millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. A lot of times having to make decisions based upon a belief that when I do this, this is going to happen. And I'm willing to put in the action once I make the investment to make sure, because I'm betting on me, that it's going to happen. We can't live in fear. We have to be resilient and take action. The Indiana Fever is such an amazing example of this. They were one of the favorites to win the WNBA championship. And then all of a sudden, Caitlin Clark gets hurt. Then all of a sudden there's some internal issues where a top player, Dewana Bonner, who was on the cover of Sports Illustrated with the four key players, as well as Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, those four on Sports Illustrated, she leaves the team. She then gets traded. Ups and downs. Caitlin comes back. Caitlin gets hurt. Now you're pulling in other players. But they've remained resilient. They've stayed committed to the we greater than me. We greater than me, meaning they as individuals, they're important, they're burned, their goals, just like yours, but it's about the we. Staying together through challenge and adversity and demonstrating that resilience. And then Caitlin comes back, and then Caitlin gets hurt again. And then would you believe this past weekend, Ari McDonald, as well as Sydney Colson, they both go down with season-ending injuries. We're left with no point guard. Resilience once again. The team had to rise up on Saturday. Caitlin's still out. Ari is still out. Sydney is still out. And you got to believe it takes resilience. They had one of their best performances of the year. If you would have seen the belief, the high energy, go watch the replay, you would have never believed the adversity the team was facing. But they believe in each other. They lean in together. They bring big energy. They embrace the adversity. It's now become part of their DNA. So you just watch what happens with this team. The best chapters have yet to be written. Mark my words. I've been making predictions on this team all year long, haven't I? Telling you they're going to come back. Telling you they're going to make it. Believing. They won that WNBA Commissioner's Cup. Nobody believed it. I did. They did. So what do you believe regardless of where you are? Can you be more resilient? Can standard over feelings play a more critical role? Believe in yourself. This year is far from over. The best chapters of your story of 2025 have yet to be written.